If we just go here around this roundabout, let's just see what it, put my foot down, straight away it wants to wash out. But the good thing is as I back off, the front tucks in and it hangs onto the corner. Now obviously there's a pretty tight corner here, but as soon as I put my foot down, off we go. It just comes on full boost and just solidly pulls you back in the seat with some really lively performance. Obviously in the wet this car will rely on the traction control quite heavily to limit wheel spin, and the light will flash up on the dash. If you're in first gear and you're accelerating around a corner like that, obviously you will experience the same thing again, because we are dealing with a front wheel drive car, not a four wheel drive car. Now in different markets and around the world, depending on whether it's the Gen 1 or the Gen 2 model, obviously you've got the Mazda 6 four-wheel drive version with a similar engine setup and ECU tune. Well, obviously you're not going to have that problem, but being a front-wheel drive car, you need to be a little bit sensible. What else? Let's just pull over here and just have a bit of a look at the gauge, because obviously that's some of the things that you may want to know of what I think. We've got the navigation button on the steering column. I've got to press agree, but at least I can do it on the dash on the steering column. I don't have to reach over and press the button. Unfortunately, that's a byproduct of most modern day production cars without the remote aftermarket sat-nav system. I hit the back button, or I can go to the info button and toggle through various different menus from the FM, the preset list, and then back to the nav. I'm not so sure whether this car has got some feedback on fuel economy or litres per 100 k's. I just need to have a look at the dash on what else we can get from an info point of view. Okay, so there we go. If I press the info button again, it goes back to the averages of the maintenance and the preferences screen. I can change the distances, the temperature, the time zone, and the clock and things like that. Obviously, I don't want to go into that area and change things around from the settings of the car. But I can go into the maintenance, set some information on tyre rotation and when the service is due, which I think that's a good little handy reminder. So again, we're using the features and benefits of some digital technology where I've got the ability to put some of that info so I can take advantage of it myself. Back again to the main screen, and there we have it. I found the screen that I expected. Average fuel economy in litres per 100 k's, average speed. Okay, you might not always want to know that, but every now and then it might be handy just to have a bit of an idea. I wanted to grab the quick opportunity here to show you under the bonnet what makes this car particularly different from the Gen 1 to the Gen 2 is the bonnet scoop is now on the top of the bonnet instead of taking the air through the front of the car, because obviously on this particular engine, being a turbocharged car, the intercooler is mounted on the top of the engine, and this is actually of particular importance from an improvement point of view with airflow on this particular model. More aggressive looks and more efficient airflow into the intercooler to reduce the charge inlet temperature, which of course gives you more consistent power, more ignition timing, better throttle response and things like that. It's a front wheel drive car. It's a east-west layout for the engine, not north-south. The gearbox is obviously under the left-hand side, down underneath the airbox here. Battery's located towards the back, and overall this car is a really good fun car to drive, and I'm looking forward to the future of further upgrades and improving this car, so we can have fun developing it and you can have fun driving it. The seat is obviously electric front and back, up and down. The ability to tilt the back of the seat forward and back is electronic as well, and it's got some memory settings, 3 memory settings on the side as well, so that's a handy thing. I'm not sure whether the memory settings are tied into the key fob. I know on some other models that I've owned in the past, the part that I really liked was obviously having the ability to choose the different key to suit the different driver. So let's just take the car for a bit more of a spin and just see how it goes just driving around town, because let's be honest, most of the time when you're driving your car, it's around town that you're going to get the most fun out of it, obviously sticking to the speed limit and not doing anything silly. Oh, one thing that I did notice is you can obviously just lean on the indicator and turn the indicators on to flash the markers to turn. Obviously, if I'm doing a corner like this, I pull it all the way down and then it cancels itself when I go straight back. Some models on some cars, if you just touch the indicator stalk up once, it'll flash the indicators for a certain amount of times instead of having to turn them all the way on. Obviously this model doesn't do that. We've got, one thing it does have is automatic wipers. It's got the wiper at the back as well, and it's got the mode adjustment on the steering indicator stalk here as well. And on the right hand side, obviously, as per most Japanese cars, you've got the lights and stuff like that. So I'll just do a standing start. Obviously, from a standing start, you would expect to be some amount of wheel spin. I don't want to go any faster and break the speed limit, but from a standing start with this upgrade, the car is quite capable of wheel spinning, and depending on what you're doing with the traction control, obviously it's going to have an effect on that as well. I think for what we've achieved out of the ECU, 12% on turning and 10 to 15% more power mid-range, a healthy improvement of torque across the rev range is quite good for this car for the ECU upgrade. The next thing we're going to do is test an exhaust system with a dump pipe on it, and that will certainly free up a few more kilowatts from an efficiency point of view. It certainly makes you want to drive the car quicker and have more fun in the car, which I think is obviously one of the enjoyable things in upgrading your car, at the same time being sensible about how you want to drive the car around town. So from a handling point of view, we've done the roundabouts and we've done the things. So this corner up here is actually, I'll just pull it back again, is actually quite a long, fast corner. Okay, what you can do is, obviously, in that situation, the car, you would expect it to understeer to some degree, because obviously manufacturers these days build understeer into the car, and then you can feel it starting to wheel spin on the inside wheel, as you would expect being a front wheel drive car with the setup of the front diff that it's got factory standard. And the traction control kicked in, brought back some grip, the car changed attitude a little bit, relieved it of its traction control limitations, brought back some more power to the wheel spinning in. So as I went through the corner, I get more and more confidence in knowing what the car's going to do and where it's going to go. So at the track, obviously, we've got more opportunity to drive the car a little bit quicker. I don't want to do that around here because I want to do the right thing and not do the wrong thing. But there you have it. You get a bit of an idea of what we can achieve and what you would expect out of the Mazda 3 MPS. The Generation 1 model is obviously in a lot of ways very similar. The engine setup is very similar, different silhouette from the outside with the intake for the engine mounted intercooler instead of the dramatic bonnet scoop on this model. And overall, a fantastic package. So there you have it, 2010 Mazda 3 MPS. Well worth it, good fun car to drive, depending on where you are in the world. It's certainly cars worth considering for a daily driver and a bit of an upgrade opportunity to improve the car. For more information, obviously follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook and the mrtperformance.com.au website. I'm Brett Middleton. Thanks for watching.